mental process for them too. So helping them to say, I'm gifted, I'm talented, and I...
Business plan. Tell us the difference between the business plan and the strategic plan.
Well, to what you want.
Yes. I guess a lot of... Hello, and welcome to Business Insight. I'm your host, Ruben Ramos. Simply put, strategic planning is clarifying the overall purpose of the organization and how those results will be achieved. There are different ways to do that planning depending on the purpose of the organization, the life cycle or stage of development, the culture of people within the organization, the types of issues it's currently facing, and the rate of change in the external environment. On today's special, Bonique Harris will join me as we discuss Strategic Planning 101. Welcome to the show, Bonique. It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you, Ruben. I'm so happy to be here today.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, Bonique. Bonique, before we go into strategic planning, please tell us about your professional background.
Well, I started my career in the not-for-profit industry, and I worked with a group of victims of domestic violence, and the specifics was for disabilities. And it was such a narrow field that no one really knew about it. And so the growth in that industry was very minimal. I worked there for about 6 years, and I grew and I grew and I grew. And helping these women out really gave me such a platform to actually grow who I was as a person and to continuously recreate who I was as an individual. With helping them, it helped me to channel a lot of things for myself, helped me build better relationships with, the people who were around me. And, it taught me so many things. But, that opportunity for me phased out.
All right.
And then I got into the civil service sector, and I started working for New York City Transit. And I started off as a conductor, and then I became a train operator, and then I became bored. And so working in the civil service industry, you meet so many different types of people.
Yes.
People who are creatively talented, people who have a lot of energy and they have a lot of dreams. And people always say to me, Bonique, you have such great ideas. The information that you're giving out to people, you can market that. And so I started to strategically help people plan different paths for themselves. And I just kind of became a strategic planner for small businesses and for, at-home moms and at-home dads.
Wow, that is certainly a remarkable transition. You went from civil service worker to an entrepreneur. What inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, my inspiration actually lies in my background with working with the women first.
All right.
Seeing how at first I felt like I couldn't help them, and I had this dire need to be of assistance to them any way that I could. I mean, I started off just as a secretary, and then I grew into like this big office manager. And helping to manage and run this domestic violence unit really helped me to cradle these women and see that there are so many different resources that are available to them, but the education piece was missing. And so when you start to teach people certain things, it helps them out. Not helping them to stay crutched on their disability, but actually helping them to grow and to manifest. And so because of that, I, went back to school and I started a degree in psychology. And, just the helping aspect of it was a fulfillment part for me. So when I did start in the civil service industry, there were so many people there who were dying to leave their job. Nobody wants to be in the blue suits anymore. They had all these dreams and aspirations and all this talent just bottled up and with nowhere to go. And I was always very energetic, and people was like, Bonique, do you even sleep? Because I was always doing something. And I started this practice with very few people, just a vision. And people would say to me, Bonique, you have like all of this. You need to do something with it. And I said, you know what, I guess you're right. And so, baby steps one at a time, everything started to grow for me.
Yeah.
And then I needed to build a team. And that was one of the hard pieces too. So a part of my other piece of inspired thoughts was, I'm nurturing 2 young girls. There's my legacy. Teaching my children what to do, how to grow themselves professionally. and they started to catch on. So now when people see me, they see me and my kids, and we're like this team, you know, of successful entrepreneurs. And so, you know, inspiration for me just keeps growing and growing. It's never just one thing that keeps me inspired.
Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the challenges that small business have in starting a business. Tell us about that.
Wow, yeah, so many challenges. For small businesses, especially entrepreneurs who start their practices either at home or in small locations, mainly their difficulties is just keeping up with big business. Big business have the ability and the capability to do other things like have large marketing teams, they have budgets for big commercials, so they can get themselves out there. The problem with entrepreneurs is the actual getting yourself out there. And sometimes it's also an internal process for them too. So helping them to say, I'm gifted, I'm talented, and I want the world to see me was a very trying part for me, because that was a piece that I dealt with, not feeling like I was professional enough, I didn't have the credentials, and so it was internal as far, and plus external, you know, having the budget available so I can get a commercial, but it wasn't even about that. And so staying on course, staying on track, the consistency, the deals that fall through, you know, so it was the constant rejections or the people saying, oh, I don't need you, I don't need your service or your help. And those are the things that keep people stuck. And so a lot of it is just helping people to move past that so they can continue on. And it's not a overnight thing, and that's what some people actually think that entrepreneurship is about. I mean, I had to explain to them that if you think about it, when you're in college for a minimum of, let's say, 4 years just to get a decent degree. And then after that, there's still a phase that you're going to go through, the competition. And so after the education piece is done, which is 4+ years, now you have to deal with competing people who are still going after the same things that you're going after, you know, starting very low and working your way up. So all those years of progress is the same way entrepreneurs have to move. But some people think that entrepreneurship is something that you do because you're talented, you're gifted, you have something valuable, and it's going to be an overnight success for them. It really doesn't work that way. I mean, statistics have shown that 7 out of 10 businesses actually fail within the first 5 years. What happens to the next 3? You know, 1 out of those 3 actually survive, but they're even surviving not even on the amount of income that can really replace what a possible paycheck can replace for them.
Exactly. So yes, what you said is exactly true, because there's a big misconception with these small entrepreneurs. They think everything comes easy. They don't have to have a small business plan. They don't have to have a strategic plan. They could just hire their friends here and there. And when you start adding all that up, pretty soon it's all going to add to big losses down the road. I think it has to do with just not having the proper resources or not planning it accordingly. But in your opinion, do you think that these small businesses have the access to the proper resources to launch their business?
Absolutely not. When I started off first in business, I was searching for help, you know, like where can I go to get help? And the resources weren't readily available to me. I mean, they did have some things online, but I'm more of an in-person type person. You know, I need to be in a class setting, I need to learn, I need someone to help me, and it's just not available for people who want to start a business. And so in the communities, you have other resources like community centers, but what they offer is like health and fitness classes, maybe cooking classes, you know, swimming. But when it comes down to business, there's nothing available for them. I mean, even if you go down to like the employment department, employment offices, to me, entrepreneurship is a form of employment. And it should be, you know, put in there that if you want to learn how to start your own business to make your own money, then that should be a part of the employment process also. But it's not. And so the resources are extremely limited, and you really have to search. And that's why coaches have started to spring up. Like, you can find a coach for almost any niche in the field. And coaches, that's what they do, because it's the one-on-one. It's the personal connection that you're going to make, because sometimes it's not what you're going to get online. There's a lot of online resources that you can fumble through and, finger through, but it's really not the same. It's not the same as having someone who can personally teach you, the rules to the actual side of business,
yes.
right? Because it's not just about having a expertise and just saying, well, everyone wants this and everyone needs this. People don't know what they need sometimes. So
Right.
you have to learn how to send the message out to your audience.
Do you believe that there is a reluctance on part of the business owners of seeking help and resources simply because of their ego or their pride gets in the way? Do you believe that that may be the case?
I believe that may be the case with a lot of new entrepreneurs. I've come across people who felt like, I know it all, I know everything because I've been doing this for years, no one can tell me anything. There's a difference between being arrogant, cocky, and then, because to me, wisdom is something that's built. It's not that you know it all, it's that you're always willing to open up and learn more. And so you have to decipher, are you being wise or are you just being arrogant about what you're doing?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And there's a huge difference, because even a wise man is going to want to learn more. And so I'm not the be-all to end-all in coaches. And I understand that. I have a coach, so there's always more that I can learn for my audience and, for the people who I'm looking to get to. Because I'm looking for people who are just like me, number one. People who want to learn more, not someone who's just saying, oh, well, it stops with me and there's no one else that can do what I do.
Right. Yeah, I guess they have this mindset when they go through school or training or college that they're gifted and talented. They don't need any help. They don't need any guidance. They pretty much on their own. But as you said, arrogance and ego can get in the way, and they don't bother putting together a business plan, a strategic plan. They don't go out seeking the right people for the right jobs. And getting back to the business plan, tell us the difference between the business plan and the strategic plan.
Well, the way I like to break down a business plan versus a strategic plan is a business plan is a basic model, and it's almost like the model people follow, from birth till college. You grow up, you go to school, you get good grades, you go to college, you get a job. It's very plain, and it kind of seems like it's going to work, right? Everyone has the same path. It's going to just work for them. But that's not really how it is. So in actuality, a strategic plan is going to help you to get through the obstacles that you're possibly going to face. We're not going to all face the same obstacles, but there are going to be some obstacles that we're going to face, some challenges, some life changes. Because what if there's a death? What if there's a birth? What if there's a marriage? What if there's a financial struggle that's going on? Everyone is not afforded the same resources at the same time. We are afforded the same opportunities, but sometimes the resources are not always available at that same moment. So what I try to help people do is to help them maneuver their way around some of the obstacles that they're going to face. So when you do it strategically, it can help you, take the bumps a lot better so that you're still on course with exactly what it is that you want to do.
I see. Do you believe that business owners are investing enough time and resources in developing a business plan or a strategic plan?
Actually, I've seen so many businesses that hasn't even had a plan. Nothing at all. They just basically said, this is what I do, and that's it. There's no structure in it. There's no anything in it. And I've been strategic planning, it's so strange, since I was like in junior high school. I come from a large family, and I'm the baby, and I've always had to strategically work my way through the family members to get what I wanted. So it's kind of something that I've developed over the years, and I teach that to people. And getting over those obstacles is one of the things that can be distracting to you, because you see it, and you don't know if you should go around it, you can go under it, you can go over it, or what other means of access you have to get to what you want.
Yes, yes. I guess a lot of these entrepreneurs, they go through college and training and they kind of forget what they've already learned. You know, it seems like all that uh, education that they went through, they just don't put it to good use. They don't develop the business plan. They don't structure their business the way they should. All of that information that they learn just doesn't go into play in their business. And in your opinion, do you believe that mom and pop stores have the available resources to compete effectively against large corporations?
I think they can have the resources if they wanted the resources. A lot of mom and pop stores do have an advantage. And I say this to them all the time when I do work with people who own small businesses. The advantage is they have a personal relationship with their customers. And that's something that we need to get back to. Big business is more of a grander scheme of things. They want to service as many people as fast as they possibly can, which is all well and fine. But you have to get to a different type of a person who wants a certain specific service. And then you can actually tailor things for certain people, which they do have the capability of doing. And now they can get higher end clients. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
So it's not
Yeah.
always about the many people that you can serve in the fastest time that you can serve them. Because these are the same people who, you know, if there's a sale someplace else, they're going to leave you. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
And we don't want clients to leave us, especially as small business owners. And so we want to get back to providing a specific type of customer service, customer caring to the individuals, so people can feel like I'm going to recommend this person to everyone in my family, you know, to my friends, to my coworkers, you know, to everybody that they know. And that's how they can compete with big business, in my opinion. Getting back to customer care and restructuring how things work.
Yes, it seems like in recent years there's been this trend of big business taking over mom and pop stores. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems to be happening, and it's unstoppable in many industries. In retail, it's happened. Blockbuster put the mom and pop stores out of business. Now Netflix put them out of business. So, you know, with this technology and big business now taking over, you know, the small discount retail stores, it just seems to be a never-ending saga.
I know.
But Bonique, I want to get to your business. Please tell us more about the business that you provide.
Well, I am a strategic planning coach for small business owners and mom and pop stores. And I also run a roundtable network called the Entrepreneurs Roundtables Network. It's actually a support group for small businesses who need resources, which I bring every month. There's a specific training for marketing, for back office pieces, for styling, like hair and makeup, like all types of things that we don't think about that's important to our business. And so I have a group of ambassadors, is which I call them, and they are experts in different areas, and I bring the resources straight to the group. And so if you're in dire need of a marketing plan, I have a marketing expert there that's going to be with you for 30 days or 31 days and work with the entire group for marketing. I have someone who does back office stuff. So if you're running your business illegally, we help you legalize your business. And so these are the resources that I have available for all the members. So that's a membership-based organization, and it's run every month, and we meet every first Friday of the month in Brooklyn.
Wonderful. Now, if individuals are interested in your products and services, what would be the best way for them to contact you?
Oh, right on my website at www.meetbonique.com.
Great, great. Now, Bonique, are you available for speaking engagements and consultations?
Absolutely. I actually hold my consultations on Thursdays and Fridays. I give a 30-minute free consultation, so I can actually make sure that, you know, we're suitable to work with each other and I have exactly what it is that you need, or I can refer you to someone. And as for speaking engagements, I am available towards the end of the year.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of these events or engagements that you attend, do you have like a set of entrepreneurs coming to these engagements and events to kind of look around and see what available resources are out there for them?
Yes, we actually have a resource log where everyone who comes in, they put in their business card, and what I do is I have myself or someone on my staff call everyone up, and we jot down exactly what their expertise is, how can we catalog them inside, for the group, and I send out a newsletter that highlights everybody and their expertise.
All right, great.
Right.
Now, Bonique, I know that we've covered a lot about business and big business and small business. What is your take in the future? Do you think that small entrepreneurs can band together to compete effectively in this competitive landscape?
Well, in my opinion, I believe entrepreneurship is the new 9 to 5. Big businesses are actually disbanding themselves because it's a lot easier to not have a big office space and hire people to work part-time to do things in their home. They're saving a lot of money, and they don't have to pay a lot of fees for certain things like unemployment fees. These things are really kicking big businesses' butt, and that's why they're turning to alternative resources in order to get things done. I mean, a lot of big business does a lot of things online now, which has actually cut a lot of jobs for people. So right now, it's not really a competition anymore. Now it's just basically survival of the fittest. Be you an entrepreneur or big business. So big business has more to lose than an entrepreneur because we don't have as much vested. Even though we do make a huge investment, which is our time, our energy, things of that nature, but big business has stocks that they have to take care of and maintain and people that they have to pay. And so, to me, the competition is actually dwindling down. Now it's basically who's providing what people want.
Yes. And clients nowadays are becoming more and more demanding. So they'll go to any company who's willing to provide those services.
Exactly.
So, but yes, it is having an impact on the economy. There's a lot of shift of jobs going from large companies to small and vice versa. And again, it has to do with our culture and our society where clients, customers are just becoming more and more demanding, and whoever's going to provide that service is the one who's likely to get that niche, I guess, so to speak. So do you believe that that might be one of the reasons why there's so much shift and changes going on in this business?
Well, the shift and the change is based on the technologies that's going on. Technology has taken over. Everyone wants convenience for everything. And, no one wants to go out and shop anymore. Everybody wants things delivered straight to their home. Everybody wants things to be prepackaged for them and just available for them at all times, which is great. And I think entrepreneurs have that. And they're given it in such a more personalized way that people are appreciative of that. So, I mean, you still have a lot of people who like big business because you can get sales and discounts and you can, other things like that. But what smaller businesses are going to give you, they will barter with you. There are other things that small businesses can do that bigger companies are not willing to do.
I see. Now, is there anything other than small business that you could advise small entrepreneurs as what would be the mistakes they should avoid if they're thinking about launching a business?
Mistakes? The biggest mistake I would say is starting and not continuing. I've seen it happen so many times where there can be an entrepreneur who has the ability to really service a community. And because of maybe the shift in the economy, because of the non-support that they might possibly have, they, feel like, well, it's not going to work. And that's one of the worst things that you can do in your business, especially if it's something that you're extremely passionate about. I've seen a lot of people, just shut down their doors because, you know, they don't have the support that they need. So if you don't have the support, you have to find the support. And that's one thing I tell people. You cannot wait for things to come to you. You have to go out and get it. So if you don't see that where you are is working, just move on and find whatever it is that you need. So just sitting there waiting for people to just, you know, be supportive of you, your family members, your friends, it doesn't work that way. I've seen many entrepreneurs, you know, shut down their doors because maybe their mom didn't support them, or their husbands didn't support them, or their kids said, you know, mommy, you're not doing the mommy things anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
right. So those
Okay.
are the things that I tell people.
Great, great. Now, one last moment. Can you provide the viewers your contact information one more time in case if they're interested in your products and services?
Absolutely. I can be reached at www.meetbonique.com.
Thank you very much, Bonique. Well, Bonique, it was a pleasure having you on our show. Thank you very much for being with us, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. It was so wonderful being here.
The pleasure is all mine, Bonique.
All right.
And for all you folks out there, thank you very much for tuning in to our special, and we will welcome you back on our next show. Take care and have a good one.
Yes. Yeah, listen up. I want to take your mind back to those days when you really be just me and your girlfriend. You know that period where you